So, the year of 2023 did not start off the best for me. At the start of the year, my dad had a stroke. Thankfully, he's okay, and as in my family, we were all home when it happened. But the year started out with a negative bang. I don't know what you'd call that. It was not good. Like, he got a stroke and I was sick as a dog, and it wasn't a good time. But after I got better, my family and I were discussing whether we would need to move because we had all lived together at the time. Like, my husband and I and my family, we all lived together. And we were discussing if we would need to move because we didn't know if he would be able to walk up the stairs again because of the effects of the stroke. And, maybe we'd need to move somewhere else that was more accessible where everything is on one floor. And that incident planted a seed in me that had me start thinking about moving. Other things happened after that as well that allowed my husband and I to come to that decision. But that incident was a seed, a very serious little seed, but it did get us thinking. And my husband and I did ultimately end up moving that year, and that was a move to buy a home, and then we were able to rent out that home, which has allowed us to be in the position that we are in today, which is where we can both opt out of the workforce. Now, I just want to be clear that I'm not saying that my dad had the stroke for our benefit or that so we could make a beneficial move. Not at all. But it's just, it's a funny little thing. It was certainly a negative thing, but it is one of the catalysts that prompted us to think about making a move. So I'm not trying to get all spiritual on you or anything. I'm not thinking everything happens for a reason, but I did want to make this shorter video to say the negative experiences in your life can end up being positive for you in some way. The people who do say everything happens for a reason, like, sometimes I think they're a little off base, but they're not too far off, it seems. Like, if you're going through a negative or a sucky time right now, you don't know if this will ultimately lead you to a better place or prompt you to go in a different direction in your life. Another example from my life was that I got laid off. And I have talked about that a lot in previous videos, but to a lot of people, that is devastating news, right? Like, people have families to care for, they have bills, they have to survive, and then they get laid off. And with this job market right now, I think that the job search is probably like the worst it's ever been, at least in Canada and the US for sure. And I think it's probably about to get worse. But I got laid off, and I could have been down about it, especially because I had initially been job searching and wasn't getting anywhere and was getting rejected. So it's like a double whammy. And then to top all of that off, I was burnt out and I didn't even want to work at all. But I had been learning that rejection is redirection. And I thought, you know what? What if life is redirecting me in another direction at this time? Like, I keep getting rejected, even though I'm burnt out, I'm trying. I applied to how many jobs? I keep getting rejected, or I don't even get an interview. But then again, I thought, what if life is redirecting me? Rejection is redirection. What if life is redirecting me somewhere else at this time? So that layoff could definitely have been something negative, right? It was the largest and only source of income that my husband and I had at the time. So it definitely could have been something very negative. But that situation was actually what prompted us to say, okay, we're going to rent out our place and opt out of the workforce. Now, we didn't plan on that, right? We literally moved to that house the previous year. So we didn't plan on leaving. We loved the home. We planned to stay in it for a long time. We had plans to do this and that to it. But me getting laid off allowed the both of us an opportunity to live a better life. a life on our terms where we could do the things that we desired. So, short video long to say that, yeah, your negative experience sucks. And I empathize with you, I really do. But just keep in mind that this is a situation that could redirect you. Like, it could be a seed that leads you somewhere else. It could also be a catalyst to you changing your life or to a very positive change in your life later on. So I know this sucks. I know it did for me, but just keep your head up. And I'm certainly hoping for you. And I hope that when the good does ultimately happen, you can come back here and share that with me, because I'd love to celebrate with you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.